Ladies and gentlemen, the future, this curious idea that lies ahead of us like an untouched canvas, can often feel overwhelming, unpredictable, and uncertain. We wonder what will happen, where we will go, and how we will be. And yet, the act of looking forward, of anticipating, can sometimes obscure one thing that is absolutely certain: the present moment. The future is a concept that often holds us in its grasp, pulling us toward distant hopes and fears. We find ourselves imagining what tomorrow might bring, often projecting our anxieties or desires onto a future that is not yet here. But in reality, the future is an abstraction, a construct of our minds, shaped by the endless streams of thoughts and possibilities that seem to flow through us. The only true experience we can ever have is the now, the present moment. It is in this moment where our life unfolds, where all our senses meet the world, where everything that is real and tangible exists. When we look ahead, we often do so through a veil of uncertainty, colored by our expectations, hopes, and worries. We think about what could be, but this what could be is never guaranteed. The future does not exist yet, and it never will in a way that we can truly grasp. It is only an idea, a projection of our minds trying to anticipate something that has not yet materialized. And if we are constantly consumed by thoughts of the future, we lose touch with the richness of the present, the only time that is truly ours to experience. To stay optimistic about the future, it is essential to first understand that the future does not unfold in isolation. It is not something that will arrive to surprise or challenge us as an outside force. The future arises from the present moment. Every thought, decision, and action we take now creates ripples that influence what will come. But the key to optimism lies not in waiting for the future to manifest, but in engaging fully with the moment in front of us. When we are present, we begin to see opportunities that may have been invisible before. We unlock the potential that lies within the here and now, and in doing so, we pave the way for a future shaped by our awareness, our choices, and our actions. This is where true optimism resides. It is not a blind hope that everything will work out according to some predetermined plan. It is an active engagement with life as it unfolds. By embracing the present, by being fully immersed in the now, we connect to the flow of life, and in that connection, we find a space for growth, possibility, and transformation. The more we can be present, the more we allow ourselves to open up to the future, because it is from the present that all futures emerge. The future is not a distant, separate entity waiting to surprise us. It is a continuation of the present, and when we embrace the present moment, we embrace the potential for a future that is alive with possibility. Human beings have an innate desire for control. From the moment we wake up, we seek to shape the day ahead, to steer our lives in the direction we think is best. We plan, we organize, we forecast, trying to impose a sense of order on an inherently chaotic world. Yet, there is a fundamental truth we often overlook in our quest for control. The future is not something we control. It is not a fixed, predictable destination that can be planned for with certainty. The future is fluid, a mystery that is constantly unfolding, and it moves through us, with us, and beyond us. In our relentless pursuit to control the future, we often forget that life is not a linear sequence of events that we can map out ahead of time. The future is not a road that we walk, but a current that we move with. It flows toward us, and we flow with it. This constant movement, this dance with time, is what makes life dynamic and full of possibility. We cannot control the unfolding of events, nor can we dictate every outcome, no matter how hard we try. Instead, we must learn to live with the flow, to align ourselves with it rather than resist it. Optimism, then, does not arise from our attempts to control the future. It is not about holding tightly to a rigid vision of what we want or expect. True optimism comes from an acceptance of the unknown, an understanding that we are part of something much larger than ourselves. When we release our need for certainty, we open ourselves to the beauty and mystery that lie ahead. Rather than seeing the unknown as something to fear or fight against, we can begin to see it as an opportunity to explore, to grow, and to learn. When we let go of the illusion of control, we allow ourselves to be more flexible and open to what life presents. We stop clinging to fixed outcomes and start embracing the process and the ebb and flow of life that constantly shifts and evolves. It is this willingness to surrender to the unknown that brings freedom, for we no longer feel burdened by the need to predict or control every aspect of our lives. Instead, we trust that the path will reveal itself in its own time, and that each step we take will unfold according to its own rhythm. In conclusion, the future, with all its uncertainties, is not something to be feared or controlled, but something to be embraced with an open heart and mind. It is not the projection of our desires or anxieties, but a continuation of the present moment. By grounding ourselves in the here and now, we unlock the potential for growth, creativity, and optimism. We come to realize that true optimism does not lie in predicting or controlling what comes next, but in accepting the unknown and trusting that the path ahead will reveal itself as we move forward. The future is not an external force acting upon us, but a flow that we dance with, and the beauty of this dance is found in our willingness to surrender to the process and trust in the unfolding of life. In this acceptance, we find the freedom to live fully, to explore, and to step into the future with hope, curiosity, and confidence. So, I invite you to look at the future not as something distant and intimidating, but as a river that is waiting to be crossed. It is flowing toward you, always in motion, and you are a part of it. You can choose to step forward with hope, not because you know exactly what lies ahead, but because you understand the simple truth that the present moment, the only moment that is truly yours, is the fertile ground where all futures are born.